You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast with a complete lack of Southern accent.
Yes. And wow, we nailed this intro on the very first try.
We did. We aren't certainly re-recording anything where I got outlandishly Southern.
We definitely didn't record 12 minutes before I realized that I had made a mistake on the soundboard and that we needed to start over.
First time. Good job, guys. This is going great.
So if you're a fan of this show, then certainly you recognize that sweet baritone that is Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins.
It's good to be back. I just finished several hours ago putting to bed my 75th newspaper as editor-in-chief. So it's a momentous occasion. I'm celebrating with a couple of drinks and some good friends. It's good.
Hell
nice.
yeah.
Congratulations. I saw a photo on Facebook of you working, I guess, with, was it Bogomil in your lap?
Yeah, so that's Bogomil. He likes to chill on my lap. He will wait for me. He's got a bed, which you can see in that picture. He's got a bed on the couch behind me, and he will wait for me to sit down and then hop down and like paw my feet and then jump up onto my lap. And he likes to chill there for gaming and for recording and for other things I do on the computer that I don't want a cat on my lap for. So, he's a bit insistent, and I have to kick him off every now and then. But he's a good work partner.
How much does Bogomil weigh?
I haven't weighed him recently. I want to say probably around 12 pounds now. He's actually lost a fair amount of weight. He used to be a pretty big, chunky boy. But since we have gotten Blackberry, Blackberry is very not like angry aggressive, but he eats. And he eats a lot, and he
eats aggressively.
He will push Bogomil away or harass Bogomil at the food trough. So I think Bogomil has lost a lot of weight recently just because he no longer has the opportunity to just go eat when he's bored. Conversely, now Blackberry, you see him just hanging out around the food dish all the time. He eats when he's bored, and he is getting he is developing a cat paunch faster than I've ever seen. He's going to have a big old swinging belly for years to come.
It's time to get another more aggressive cat.
Yeah.
Progressively more aggressive cat.
The cycle never ends.
Until you're the new Joe Exotic of Oregon.
I've seen that episode of Hoarders, I think. I think you showed me that one. The reason I ask is because Berlioz likes to do the same thing. My cat, and he weighs 20 pounds.
Lord.
And it's
about what River weighed too. At his
biggest. And he is aggressive about it too. Cause I'll be working and he'll come over and like put his both paws up on my knee and like stretch. And I'm on a chair with like wheels. And it's like, dude, if you push me much more, I'm going to fucking roll. So then I'll pick him up and put him in my lap and work. And it's essentially like having a pillow in my lap. Like I have to put my elbows like on top of him and type like a T-Rex.
That sounds pretty good.
It is pretty great. And then what'll happen is, inevitably he will shift his weight. And it is just like 20 pounds of just cat bones just grinding into my junk. It's gotten to the point where I've moved my work
20
computer.
pounds of cat bones is a pretty good band name.
That's not bad. Or a good like autobiography.
Well, courtesy of the randomizer this week, the dark chaotic god of our own creation and destruction chose Knights of the Round, which was a game called by both Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins and Jonah Jetplane Jonathan Wilson. Jonathan, sadly, I believe, is asleep. We're very sorry.
That's our guess. We're sorry, man.
He's 7 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
So that's
very early
1-2
late in the
a.m.
morning.
over there.
Yeah. Especially for a Monday/Tuesday.
So, yeah. So we'll figure out how to make that up.
Yes.
But before we get to all the Knights of the Round talk, I'm your bearded host, Tyler. And
I'm going to pretend like I never heard this before, okay?
Good,
all right.
Good.
Do tell. Yeah.
You'll know. My reactions will be like, you'll know. I've taken this master class in acting.
Really honing your craft.
Yes, I've been honing my craft all for this moment.
So I love Reddit.
Yeah.
But I don't get a lot of messages on Reddit. And when this morning I woke up to 9 messages.
It's a lot.
It's like, what the fuck is going on? So the first one I wake up to is, you've been permanently banned from participating in our filthy girls.
What?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Can you believe that? Man. You've been permanently banned from participating in Alt Gone Wild. You've been permanently banned from participating in our GW Cum Sluts.
That is a good subreddit. I can vouch for that one.
You've been permanently...
I said it on the previous recording, and I want to make sure I put it in this one, too.
Yeah, you need to. You've been permanently banned from participating in our pussy. You've been permanently banned from participating in our Gone Wild tube. You've been permanently banned... Is there another one? Sexting Friend Finder. And then I also got a message titled, might you have a daddy kink? From Laughing Daddy. Love the picture you posted in multiple subs. Just as interesting as is your post history. Which, since my post history previously to all these posts was Call of Cthulhu, Empires and Puzzles, the ACV 3 subreddit game for my D&D game I started a long time ago.
That was the thing?
Our Earthbound. Yeah, it's probably very interesting. See, like,
but I really like the 500 spammed pictures of the same vagina. That's what really got me going.
And you like Earthbound and Call of Cthulhu. And you have a wife? Very interesting.
Well, here's the thing. You got a response from it, so I think that you should capitalize on
Have this dude on the show.
And, totally have this guy on the show. Well, you got a message. Like, how many messages have you ever gotten on Reddit about the podcast? So send them a link.
Just a few.
Send them a link and be like, if you really want this pussy.
You know what will make this pussy wet? Listen to all 565 episodes of this.
Donate $4,000 to this Patreon.
I'll send you a bottle of my pussy juices. The rest of that message, care to chat/snap with a super pervy, super kinky old guy who is also funny, empathetic, and kind? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize there was a question mark. Funny, empathetic, and kind?
Empathetic or pathetic?
Empathetic.
Okay.
Although both
a little bit from both.
I didn't even think to look at the history from Laughing Daddy.
Oh, God. This is public information, right? We're allowed to read this.
Oh, yeah, you just find that anywhere.
It was actually a clever hint that it's a famous character actor, Richard Kind.
It's been fun. This has been a fun podcast.
I might send pictures of my pussy to Richard Kind.
I don't think we're going to get better than that tonight, so I think we could go
Richard Kind, you into boy pussy? We can talk. I liked you on the Sack Lunch Bunch. Oh, shit. Well, I can't click on it, so I'll have to defer that for later. Well, what have you guys been up to?
I've been posting photographs of my vagina on Reddit.
Perfect.
And it's been going really well. But if I could, I'm going to send you guys a couple pics. You can help me pick out a hairstyle. Did I say that my account was hijacked clearly, or did I just go through all those posts? Just assuming, sorry, I got banned. Nope, my account was hijacked, and they posted 500 pictures of the same vagina in all these different subreddits. I honestly can't remember because we
did it before. We don't know.
We're in a time warp right now. We don't know. We don't know if we've gone to the bucket yet to fight Lavos or not. We've done it a bunch of times. I have been doing nothing pretty much but playing Ultima Online. Thank you, Ultima Online, for helping me watch an entire season of Seinfeld over the course of just a handful of days.
I just love doing that shit.
Season 6 is really good. Not of Ultima Online, of Seinfeld. I think season 6 might be the strongest season.
Really?
Yeah, it's got a lot of real good ones in it. It's the season right before the George Susan season. So it's got Face Painter with David Puddy. It's got all that good stuff in it. It's got
the much referenced orgy scene from the Patreon episode.
Right, which is definitely why I started watching it, because on the Patreon bonus episode that just came out, nice lead in, thank you for that. John was quoting Seinfeld, and we were desperately trying to figure out what music an orgy man would listen to.
And it is Depeche Mode. You don't have to worry anymore.
He sent a message saying Depeche Mode to me today, I think it was. I'm also in a time warp because Ultima Online and Seinfeld, it's all just like, I don't know.
And caffeine, massive amounts.
Jumanji style. What year is it? Because I really don't know. But yeah, there is no reference to music that is. So this is a call to all listeners. If you are familiar with Seinfeld, is there a reference to a person who enjoys orgies listening to Depeche Mode? Is that in Seinfeld?
We'll post that on our Seinfeld.
With your account, please.
Our Seinfeld daddy will respond.
Our Seinfeld daddy.
Interesting post history. Yes, it is Depeche Mode.
So I've been playing on a private server that Choctaw mentioned called UO Outlands. It's been a lot of fun. If you're interested in playing with us, join the Discord. We're kind of organizing there. That's bit.ly/TADPOG Discord. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Nothing interesting is going on in my life.
Well, if there's no better way to date yourself age-wise by just kind of reflecting on how old your kid is, which I say as much because Harold Arthur's 10th birthday was yesterday, and
happy birthday.
I think he was 3. No, he wasn't even 3 yet when
he's much older than 3,
guys.
Phil.
But yeah, he was a toddler when I started listening to you guys, and now he is almost in middle school, and that's
Jesus
frightening. But in a good way, because it means he's more self-sufficient, and I don't have to watch him anymore. So that's good.
You have a much healthier attitude about that than I do. Because Henry's about to start kindergarten, and it's like, man, I have so many fucking feelings about this because I'm worried that he's not ready, but at the same time, I'm just worried about everything. I'm hoping that he makes friends. I hope that, those friends don't want to come over to our house.
When was the first time you guys went over to a friend's house?
That wasn't family?
That wasn't family. Yeah, like a school friend.
Probably
to stay the night. When was your first
stay the night?
Yeah, your first sleepover. That's when shit's real.
Wow. Shit is real. I don't remember how old I was, but I do remember calling my parents. I do remember calling my mom and asking her to come pick me up because wasn't ready for it, man. Believe it or not, I wasn't ready for it.
I know Arthur's 9th birthday last year was a sleepover, and I think that was the first time he's hosted a sleepover before. So that was kind of an interesting milestone. But I feel like I had been doing sleepovers long before that, like 2nd or 3rd grade, as opposed to, I guess Arthur would have been in towards the end of his 4th grade year last year. But I feel like I had been doing that sort of thing a lot earlier than he had.
Yeah, because Choco Chica, she'll be coming up into 5th grade, and she's having sleepovers for as long as Melissa and I have been married.
I remember you talked about one famously on TADPOG.
Oh, yeah.
With that one girl who was there.
Yeah, the girl who'd been on all the walls.
Yeah,
and they called her
girl.
mama one morning.
Yeah.
Banned. Still hasn't been to my house. Banned.
Let's get her on the show.
Let's go. The first time I was, my parents have known the people all their lives. So I remember the first time I stood at a friend's house was in 5th grade. Went well. He had a Game Boy. I played a lot of the Game Boy.
Nice.
And then, but it wasn't until 6th grade that Josh, Nance, and I met. Half a Tadpog sweethearts that I regularly started basically living at other kids' house. So,
yeah, man. I know you have a lot of kids, strange kids that come over to your house.
Yeah.
Filled
for days at a time.
Right. And see, I want to avoid that, but I don't.
But it's good memories growing up. I wouldn't take those away from the girls. I think it sucks for adults.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're pretty self-sufficient, but I don't know. I remember being able to do that a lot in high school. So I can only imagine being able to spend a lot of time with multiple friends at people's houses in elementary school onward.
I think the older Henry is probably the easier time I'm going to have with it. It's just when he's 7 or 8, when it's just He's a kid, man, and like he requires, like he's a kid that requires a lot of attention too. He's not like he's like my sister was. She required a lot of attention. I would fuck off and do whatever I wanted to do.
You go to your boy well. And just stare and
exactly.
Wait until you can become an adult.
Right, pretty much. Where it's like I was fine to sit and play blackjack on my dad's TRS while they did whatever they were doing. Like that was just fine. That was perfect. Henry's not that way.
Mr. Moore, do you have kids? No, one day, hopefully. We have David. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That thing, of course.
So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to kids coming over.
Arthur's not super sociable at all, and he is absolutely content to just sit there on a screen for hours on end, which is not a good thing for him. So we have to step in pretty regularly to be like, you need to have literally anything else, like read, draw, play, like go outside, anything. I would love to have him be more sociable with other kids his age, but he's just not there yet. So the good thing though is that if you want to have some time to yourself to do some gardening or cooking or whatever, you can just tell him to go play some computer games, watch some YouTube, and you've got the rest of the afternoon all to yourself. So
that does sound nice. I have to trick Henry.
When Bulbasaur goes away for the weekend, you've got the whole weekend too. Here's a tub of ice cream and a tablet. See you Monday.
Like, Arthur, you got the computer, I got the TV downstairs, and every now and then we'll switch, and he'll take the switch, and I'll take the computer. It's like, all right, we'll pass each other in the stairwell, give each other a high five, and go about our business.
This is completely unrelated, but I do need to bring it up. What are your thoughts? And I'm bringing it up specifically because you're here, Phil. What are your thoughts on eating in bed?
I also had this written down.
I don't do it. It does. I don't have a TV in my bedroom, so that probably contributes to my feelings on it. But yeah, just eating in my bedroom is a very foreign concept to me.
What do you have? Do you not have a TV in there for a reason, or it just happens to not have a TV in there?
Bulbasaur likes the television. She's very kind of. She doesn't like the whole idea of screens in every room, and she wants to have the TV in like its own place, not the central place in the house. It's got a TV room, which is downstairs, kind of in the. It's a finished basement, but yeah, like our main living room, there's no television, there's no TV. We only have one TV in the house, which is not pretty much college. For about 10-year period, I had multiple televisions so that I could watch TV on one and then have the Super Nintendo and my consoles hooked up to another.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
But we eventually, when we moved to our new place, we kind of pared that down. So we just have kind of the one big screen TV and that's it.
So what about like a tablet? Like, will you watch TV?
Yeah, you got a phone. That's in their TV.
Yeah, will you do that?
Yeah,
like,
essentially.
Will you do that in bed or?
Yeah, and that's the other thing is that, I got a phone. I got my smartphone 5 years ago, and that's, gradually enveloped a lot more of my life than either of us would have cared to have wanted. So that kind of takes place to the detriment, because I used to read a lot before I went to bed, and now I look at Reddit a lot before I go to bed.
Yeah.
And that's probably not a great thing.
It's a pretty great thing. You learn
for
a
my
lot.
literacy alone, like I don't read books anymore. I have been reading through a Christopher Moore book, and if you're familiar with him, it's a very easy read, and it's taken me like months to get through a couple hundred pages, and I still haven't finished the book.
But that's because you're old enough to look at porn without getting in trouble now. I get it. Like, reading's great before you can do that.
Reading, the radio, video games, all great. And then we have our sliding door moment where we're actually adults. We can look at pornography.
Right. I mean, how do you guys deal with the crushing responsibility and obligation? I mean, what's your pressure valve?
I numb it with pornography, with our pussy.
That's like, here's an audio meme for you. It's a tank full of water, and it says, crushing adult responsibility and obligation. There's a hole in it. And then the next panel, there's a dude slapping duct tape on it. It says pornography.
The flex tape.
Right.
So the question about eating in bed was, of course, because I mentioned that I like to eat in bed. Ian was disgusted by that,
Yes.
to which Dave went, well, I'm glad you said it because I also like to eat in bed.
I love to eat in bed. We eat in bed. Like Nikki and I both eat in bed like so often that it is like to a point where it's like, and I'm ashamed of it because it's like, it's like this unspoken thing. Like Nikki and I don't discuss, okay, we're definitely going to order a pizza and eat it in bed when Henry's asleep, right? But like we both know it. We're on that wavelength where it's like,
you feel like being happy today? Yep.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that'd be great. Is pornography not numbing that feeling of responsibility and obligation? It is not. Let's eat pizza in bed. All right.
That means either sex, pizza, or porn.
Right. Anyway, it's going to work out. Yeah, I love to eat in bed. Like, yeah, I get it. I get the downside to that. And the downside to that is like crumbs and filth. But
it was a foreign concept to Melissa until we got married, and then like I'm bringing in Nature's Valley granola bars and a bowl of spaghetti into bed. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Doesn't that get crumbs everywhere? Yeah. Yeah. Red spatters all over our sheets and crumbs. Yeah, no, it totally does.
I'm not laughing.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because this is so familiar to me.
Like I'll get up and like, there are crumbs over my back. I don't feel it anymore. I'm like a bed eating Spartan. I'm just used to it.
Yeah.
Do you do anything else while you're eating? Like, do you actually watch something?
Fuck.
Yeah. My wife's got a big, beautiful ass that I balance spaghetti and granola bars on.
I want that on a bumper sticker.
I stack nickels while I fuck her to see how many I can get while eating spaghetti.
Don't move or you'll spill this plate of ribs. It's Memphis style. It's very wet. We can't afford a new set of sheets.
I've never had ribs in bed. I just realized.
Man.
Maybe I need to do that.
Man, you haven't lived, man.
Yeah. Do they make a bedspread that's just quilted northern?
Or it just looks like ribs?
I'm sure that it does exist. I want that tortilla blanket. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
They've targeted me heavily on Facebook for that. Where it's like, hey, this dude who does weird searches probably wants to sleep in a burrito. and
Yep.
They're right.
No, because Melissa and I, we love to binge. Prior to Jack, we used to binge a lot of TV together. That was like our cuddle time. We'd usually like feed the kids and then time to ourselves. Sure, we'll eat, we'll lay in bed, then we'll go brush our teeth, and then we'll have sex. Then we'll watch Dave stream, and we'll go to bed. So
always in that order?
It was prior to Jack. Jack rearranged the whole schedule.
Jack's like, I demand you brush your teeth at the end of all that.
Yeah. Now it's like, we're going to watch Baby Belly Bums or whatever it is on YouTube. And then we'll split some oatmeal cream pies in bed, throw those little wrappers on the side of the bed. We'll get those later. So, at some point. Then we'll have sex. Then we'll go to bed.
We use Walmart plastic bags as trash cans on the side of ours. Yeah.
I wonder if eating in bed is a regional thing. Like, have you ever seen those regional maps of the United States where it's like, here they say garbage can, here they say trash can.
Here the most popular pornography genre is hentai.
I wonder if there was a regional map of the United States about eating in bed, if it would be completely different in like the South versus the Midwest versus the West Coast or whatever.
Mm.
Maybe.
Because that's something.
Hey, listener, go on this episode post and comment like where you live. Do you eat in bed? And if you do eat in bed, what little Debbie snack cake do you prefer?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm curious about it too. I just assumed it wasn't geographical. I just assumed that I was trash. So.
I just assume it's you gross Southerners who eat in bed.
Yeah.
Us sophisticated Pacific Northwesterners
I said trash.
are above such things.
Do you sleep naked and eat in bed while naked? Yes.
Yes. Maybe it is regional, or maybe
I don't want to get spaghetti on my clothes. Of course I'm naked.
It's gross. If it's not on my body, it's a napkin. If it's on my body, it's gross.
What is worse to clean out of a bed? Like saucy leavings or crumb leavings?
Saucy leavings.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Like a rich chunky spaghetti sauce.
I can pretend a saucy leaving is a sex leaving, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So it's the.
I mean, I guess
Is that spaghetti sauce or?
Or did I lacerate my urethra again?
Cum squirt or Pop-Tart? I don't know.
So that was one of those, like, I feel like that is a dividing line, like sit or stand to poop, look or don't look after you wipe,
Yep.
eat in bed or do not eat in bed. It's like we're building the TADPOG personality profile, you know, like eventually we can have a quiz where it's like, these are all the questions.
Model of a serial killer.
For our own, when we start TADPOG MK Ultra 3.
Perfect.
We'll know who to recruit.
It stands for Mortal Kombat this time, though.
Yeah.
Along those lines, okay, pulp in orange juice or no pulp?
Is it okay to be indifferent about that? Because I'm pretty indifferent about it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Like I am vehemently no pulp, as is my son. But yeah.
I'm the same way about crunchy peanut butter, smooth peanut butter. It's like, it's fine. It's okay either way. It's okay.
I am indifferent about that. Coconut drinks, I like to have those little coconut chunks in there that I can, like, Orbits type of things that I can drink and chew up in my mouth while I'm enjoying a beverage.
Did you say Orbits?
Yeah. So like a boba tea?
But like I've never been. I guess I just don't go out for boba. Like I enjoy boba tea when I get it, but it's so rare that I just don't do it.
I've had boba tea once. It's okay. I mean,
it's all right.
I mean, if it wasn't as expensive as it was, I'd probably be prone to get it more often.
Yeah,
but it's like when I had it, I was like, this is okay, but not worth the money that I spent on it.
Yeah, this is not a $6 drink.
Right, exactly, yeah. I could have had like 2 Monster Energy drinks.
Yeah, I'm like anti-beverage culture in general. Like the idea of paying $5 or $6 regularly for a drink is I would rather spend my money on many other things than that.
I hear you. I mean, I drink coffee every day, but I mean, we buy that from Blackbird and grind it and all that. So I mean, it's not as expensive as like getting a
That's
coffee
different than going to get a Starbucks to get a $5 to $6
right, exactly.
venti mocha frappuccino.
Yeah.
Can you get Blackbird locally where you live, or do you have to hail Bailey for that?
We hail Bailey for that. Yeah, we get it shipped. Which it was a lifesaver because I really like our local coffee place, but they completely shut down during COVID. So and now I think we're converts now. So we've just been replacing our coffee through Blackbird. It's good. It's good. I like it.
Yeah. I don't really care for orange juice very much. I just don't.
Ooh,
so it doesn't matter to me Melissa fucking loves it. I don't. Pulp, no pulp. I'm just meh on orange juice. Grapefruit juice, fucking love the pulp. Love it. I think it's great. I love crunchy peanut butter. Smooth is totally fine. It's what I grew up on. I prefer crunchy, but either work.
The only time I don't like crunchy peanut butter is like on a peanut butter sandwich, like soft bread. Because then it kind of like
you don't like the texture change?
No, I don't, because the bread kind of gets mushy. You know what I mean? It almost gets like doughy. It like reverts. Like it's like in Super Mario Brothers with the de-evolution gun, like the super scope. It's like they pointed that at bread and shot it, and then it turns back to dough. I don't like that.
Because the girls had never until Melissa and I got married had never heard of chunky peanut butter. And then when they first moved in, I went to the grocery store. I bought it. That's what I always bought. So I bought crunchy Choco Chica, asked for peanut butter and jelly sandwich, made her one with crunchy peanut butter, and she's eating it just like, why are there all these crumbs in it? It's really bad.
This is open wide for Chunky Brand. That's why.
That's bizarre. That feel like I get having a preference, but to have never even known the existence of
did not know what it was. I didn't know what it was either until I saw a commercial for Doug where they're talking about preferences, and I was like, what is chunky peanut butter? My mom was like, no.
We do not evoke chunky peanut butter
until
in this
I was in college and bought my own groceries.
Wow,
I'd never had it. She absolutely refused to buy it.
What are her thoughts on peanut brittle?
Ugh.
Just curious.
I don't remember her ever buying it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That was more of a grandma's house treat.
Man, I like some peanut brittle.
I do too.
From time to time. It's not an everyday treat, but it is.
It can't be. Well, you guys hear that?
I do hear that. It sounds like 12 men serving a king eating in bed because the table is used for war strategy.
King Laughing Daddy.
Which, of course, ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia. We said we were talking about Knights of the Round, the Super Nintendo game earlier, right?
Yeah.
Can't remember that was
Very
our first
briefly.
try or second try.
I think we talked about more on the first try, but it was brought up.
Okay, all right. Well, as long as we
If
said that's what we're
anything, the
doing.
episode post will say it. So if you clicked on this to listen to it, you know what you're getting in for.
Yeah,
That is true.
Which is peanut butter talk.
Right? The
peanut butter pornography.
The peanut butter boys are back. Okay, guys. Knights of the Round video game is an arcade game released by Capcom in 1991. A side-scrolling beat-em-up based loosely on the legend of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. The game features an action role-playing video game-like level advancement system, with fighters automatically being upgraded to new weapons and armor as they advance through the game. They really don't go on to talk about the port specifically that we're talking about, which is the port to the Super Nintendo in 1994 is when that came out. So 3 years after the arcade game, it was ported to the Super Nintendo. Do either of you have any history with Knights of the Round, the Super Nintendo game, or the arcade game?
I assume you do, Phil. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said this episode.
Yeah. I enjoy these medieval style Capcom beat 'em ups like this, King of the Dragons, the D&D ones that came a few years later. I think it's Shadow of Mystara and Tower of Doom.
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, yes.
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is a really good game. And it was a good comic when I was a kid. It might be garbage. I don't know. It might not have held up.
Completely unfamiliar with that IP. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs?
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, yes. It's weird because as a kid, the Cadillacs angle didn't work for me, but the Dinosaurs angle worked real hard. And there is a Capcom beat 'em up for that property. And I think it's a good game, as I think that most Capcom beat 'em ups are good games. If you know me, you know I like a beat 'em up.
I have never heard of this game. I just Googled it, and it looks, it is a 90s Final Fight beat 'em up clone, but that's bizarre. I feel like I should have known about this.
You're welcome.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay, I will search for it. But specific history with this game. This is one of two arcade games that I have ever played start to finish with my wife, Bulbasaur. My wife. And
Bulbasaur!
Drops on drops.
She is very much not a video game person. It's a characteristic that she tolerates in me. But when we go out for dates, oftentimes, I'm not a great conversationalist unless I've got something to do while I'm having a conversation. So video games are great for that. So we've gone to a few arcades before, and there's a chain of arcades in the Portland area called Wonderland. And this was one that we went to, that it was one of those great big, multi-cade cabinets that probably had 100 different titles in there. And I put on Knights of the Round because I was familiar with it. I had played it a lot in my youth, and we sat down and we beat it from start to finish.
And that's how you fell in love.
And it's how we fell in love. And the rest is history.
So who are you playing as, and who is she playing as?
Good question. I do not know, but knowing me, I probably
call her in.
would.
She'll surely remember.
And is it why you named your son Arthur? Because this is what you bonded over.
Arthur's a family name. My uncle, my brother, my grandfather, my cousin all have Arthur in their name in some point, somewhere, either first or middle name. So, and it's unique enough. It's not unheard of, but it's also, you don't see a lot of kids. It's not, your Braden, Jaden, kind of standard millennial boys' names.
Braxton, Bixby.
Braxton.
Whatever.
Man, Braxton's a good one. Braxton's a good one. I'm going to have a D&D character named Braxton. No offense to anyone out there as a kid named Braxton.
What's his middle name?
Tony. Yeah, right. That's why I like it so much, because they get Tony Braxton.
No, that was very serendipitous, the fact that we were able to do a King Arthur game the day after Arthur's 10th birthday. So that's kind of a cool coincidence there.
Because out of everything we could draw, your name has been attached to way more of the randomly drawn games than anyone else. And
is there a big list of other people that have claimed games like I have?
There are other names attached to it, but I mean, when you look at the list, it does kind of make sense why we've called on you so often, because your list of games, like normally people give us like 1 or 2 games, and you gave us a bunch of games, which I'm totally fine with.
I essentially gave you a list of every Super Nintendo game I own, which is about 70 or 80 titles under kind of the idea.
Out of 600 choices, probably.
Yeah.
Still pretty good average.
Yeah.
Just kind of the idea that if you guys need a guest host, someone to talk with, here's something that I have and can talk to you about. Incidentally, this is not a title that I own. I just happen to have a history with it because I really like these mid-90s, early 90s Capcom medieval arcade beat-em-ups like this and King of Dragons, and I'm not sure if there are any others besides this. But it's those two.
This came out in the arcades after King of Dragons, but before the D&D series.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like sandwiched between those two.
Which is why Phil's on their sandwich.
Right, right, exactly. We were like, sandwich Phil, sandwich Pope, done.
When we get to the Pope, Vatican beat him up, we'll also have Phil back on.
Yeah. My experience with the game is through the arcade game too, but it is honestly through the Capcom beat 'em up bundle that came out like in late 2018. I picked that up for the Switch. That's a really good collection. I think it's like $20 or something like that. And I think it's totally worth it because there are like a couple titles on there that are more obscure Capcom beat 'em up titles that are very good. King of Dragons is on there as well. And when I got that bundle, I played through all of these games, and I didn't know that these games existed before then. So when I played it, of course, my point of reference was having played the D&D beat 'em ups. I was like, oh, okay, I can kind of see like where those evolved from.
Yeah. Yeah. This was kind of like the progenitor of that. This is like, you make your first game and kind of build on that and say like, what can we do better? What can we do different? And I feel like they really did a fantastic job kind of perfecting that with the D&D games, but you can kind of see the origins of that in this and the King of Dragons.
Totally. I think that the D&D games, the D&D beat 'em ups are much more complex than Knights of the Round. I feel like Knights of the Round is still a pretty straightforward beat 'em up because there aren't any spells or anything like that in the game, and pretty much everyone's the same class. You can play as 3 different characters, but they're pretty much just dudes who swing swords or an axe.
Yeah.
So
slowly or quickly.
Yeah.
You decide. You be the judge. So there are 3 characters in the game. Arthur, of course, who is kind of your
Mario.
He's your Mario.
Yeah.
He's your balance between like speed and power. He wields Excalibur, of course. There is
starts out as Excalibur. Eventually becomes Excalibur.
Exactly. There is Lancelot. And Lancelot is a speedy character, but not very powerful. And he uses a saber.
Is he Koopa Troopa then? Toad? In doing the Mario Kart comparison?
Yeah, I'll say yeah. I don't know, because it's like...
It's got to be a light-bodied, like...
Maybe Princess?
Yeah.
Who's light and fast?
Yoshi?
I usually play heavy, so I don't know. I play as like Mortimer. He's heavy. And then there is the axe wielding, and I will say it in the Ready Player One pronunciation, Parzival.
The Donkey Kong Jr. or Bowser of the group.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the heavy hitter with an axe. What I think is interesting is I didn't know this until reading the instruction manual after I played the game on Twitch, that like Percival has a dash attack and like none of the other ones do. Like if you do the standard like double tap forward Capcom move, Percival, he dashes.
Interesting.
That makes up a little bit for his slow speed.
Because he is very slow. Yeah, it does make up for that. Do you have a preferred character in Knights of the Round?
I tend to go for speed over power in these games. Maneuverability in most games from the 90s is just so much. As much as I like having a guy that can hit hard, I find it more effective to be fast than strong. So Lancelot's my boy.
I liked Arthur. I like
Parzival.
You like Parzival?
Yeah,
All
see,
right.
I equate that strength and slowness to defense, so
Sure.
I naturally choose characters like that.
And there is a block in this game.
A very important block.
It is very important, and one that I didn't use a lot because I'm not accustomed to that. I'm very much like all attack essentially.
Mhm.
So, but you're right. The block is incredibly important
Yep.
at certain points, particularly some boss fights.
Too important, if you ask me.
I agree. I think, yeah, too important. And also I don't,
It's like you don't need to be good, just block. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it.
well, I don't know. I think that you can get pretty far.
Mhm.
I prove that you can get pretty far in the game by just attacking. And there's a boss in the game where you are specifically supposed to block. He's like this giant dude with a hammer. And it's like the fight is designed for you to block. And then when you block, you come in with your attack. But I'm so block adverse that it's like, I'll just use Mega Crush. I'll just use Mega Crush over and over and over again, which is, jump and attack together, where you use a move, you do the Dark Knight, where you you get a powerful move at the expense of your HP.
Yeah.
Because what I found out was that I could burn through Mega Crushes and die less total in that fight than just him destroying me in 3 hits.
I remember watching you get to him last night. It's like, what the fuck?
God, that fight. Fuck that fight. And then I watched today.
If a thwomp were a person.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it is totally like if Shaq fucked a thwomp, that's the thing that you get. But like I watched a YouTube video. I watched a long play today, and it's like, oh, that's how you do it. That's how you're supposed to block. Meanwhile, when I was streaming last night, I think 80% of the words that Zalnop might have told me was block.
Block. Hey,
Right.
hey, listen.
Yeah, and me and my mystery juice haze. I'm like, fuck it, we attack on this podcast. So, yeah.
We're playing it like we're playing Suikoden Wars. Attack!
Right.
Attack!
Yes, exactly. So, needless to say, I didn't finish this game. But I gave it my best. So, are there any others besides block and Mega Crush and your regular attack and stuff like that? Is there anything else that's like special about this game? Horse. There is horse. You're right. Which, again, from reading the instruction manual, never would have known this. And it might even be made up. It might have been something like the booklet people were like, this sounds good. Put this in. Arthur deals more damage when he is on a horse. I guess that's how they offset Parzival's dash,
But you also can't block when you're on a horse.
You can't block when you're on a horse, and you can definitely get knocked off, and you can definitely accidentally jump off your horse, and the horse is like, I'm free! And it runs away.
Robin Williams, Genie being free, just out of your life.
It does not hesitate. You accidentally jump off that horse, it's fucking gone forever.
It's got a leveling system, which I thought was
I do like that very,
novel.
very, very much.
Yeah.
I like it too.
Instead of, gaining points to get a level up, or instead of gaining points to get an extra life or continue, you get to level up, which is, maybe you guys can comment to this, but what does the level up do? Does it increase your actual...
You look cooler.
You look cooler.
I think that's the biggest benefit.
Is that it? You just
do
get
look
better
cooler.
armor and weapons?
Yeah. At the demo screen, they show like each character, right?
Yeah.
They show Arthur, like Arthur walks on the screen and you see Arthur's stats and it's like, okay, Arthur has like 3 power, 3 speed. And it's like, okay, cool. And then like Arthur walks a little bit farther and then they show you him at like the next level. And it shows that now he's got 4 of each. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't tell a difference like playing through. Like I never felt like I was stronger. You know what I mean?
I think it's one of those things where they level up the enemies at the same rate that you level up, so it effectively stays
So it all
the same.
comes out in the wash.
Yeah.
Which is what they do in King of Dragons as well. Like the enemies will get stronger, but you get to level up so that you can hit them you can kill them with the same amount of hits as you would have normally. But if you don't get those level ups, then it's... Except unlike in this, with King and Dragons, you can actually skip your level ups because they are, and I guess we'll get into this when we actually get to that game, but those are, your level ups come in the form of weapons and armor that you can pick up in the game that will increase the power and defense that you have.
And then in this game, you get it in the form of points.
Mhm.
Like you get a certain number of points and it's like you level up, which I think is cool because it takes a meaningless system, points, unless you're playing competitively, which it's a beat 'em up. Come on.
Yeah.
You're not doing
It's not
that.
Nick Arcade. You're fine.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. Go back to ActRaiser. But it's like, it's cool because it's like, oh, you get something for these otherwise meaningless points.
Yeah, and I think that's what drew me to these type of games back then, because the idea of your sprite changing in the game was something that was very novel back then, and that's actually like what drew me a lot to Diablo when it first came out. I was like, oh my god, your character changes depending on what armor you put on. Like, this is fucking cool. So the fact that Arthur and Percival and Lancelot can get like different looking armor and different looking swords. Percival gets a haircut. He's got a bald head when he's at his highest level, which is another thing.
And a beard.
Super cool. Yeah, he turns into Scourge from the Thor comics. It's awesome.
He goes full Josh Nance.
Yes. And Arthur, essentially at his max level, turns into Arthur from Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yep.
He's got the gold armor with the red cape.
And
big old
Percival
girthy
is
sword.
an anime character with essentially non-functional armor, just a really big shoulder pad.
Yeah, pretty
He's a World
much.
of Warcraft character.
Yes. Well, he reminded me of Charlotte from Samurai Showdown. When I first saw him, I was like,
No, that was Lancelot.
I like Charlotte.
Lancelot's got the Charlotte, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you said Lancelot. I got him mixed up in my mind. But yeah, you're right. Percival's got that one shoulder armor.
Sorry, this is where I got my weak shoulder, so I keep it heavily spiked.
It's my baiting arm. I need to protect it.
I really like that. I guess if you're playing multiplayer, you have the option to chop food up and treasure up to split it. I think that is a cool touch.
I think that is neat. That way, if you're both hurt, you can both eat.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it. It makes sense. I have a sword. Here's a turkey. Oh, now we get multiple turkey.
Yep. There are also salads, endless salad bowls. There are fruit platters that you can use to get health. I found a pork steak.
Wow, all right.
That was nice. And I'm glad you brought up multiplayer because this kind of ties in with what we were talking about with the level up system.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason it might work the way that it works, where it feels like you're not super more powerful at like say level 16, which is the max compared to like level 3 or whatever. I think it might be because of the nature of the multiplayer, because like think of it like at an arcade stand up, they don't want someone to like come in the middle of a game and be like, oh, I don't want to play because you're level 16 and I'm going to jump in at level 1. I'm not going to be able to keep up. So I think that might have something to do with why that like there isn't a huge difference.
That makes sense. Which I just would have wished they had expanded upon it, like you've got different special moves or just to do something. I like the idea. I like the concept.
Yeah, I do too.
Just wish they did a little more with it.
Yeah. And Arthur's got they've got like hidden special moves, which essentially show up at the end of a combo, which I think is cool that there are combos in this game. They're not like overt combos, but it's like you mash attack 4 times and then, the character does a combo and they'll usually finish it with like a big attack. You can access those big attacks outside of the combo by like a simple input.
Which is something that similar games did not have. So I just these little things that kind of differentiate it from other beat 'em ups from that era are kind of neat. I mean, that and the look of it, this like the actual style and color and like the work that went into the sprites. This is a very good looking game. I thought. I think
it's pretty.
Yeah, I was impressed.
I like the music.
I like the music too. The music gets a little, Phil, I think you mentioned this in the stream. The music gets a little Street Fighter-y.
Do you know why?
I do know why, because I also looked up the composer, but you go ahead.
Ronald S. Street Fighter III.
But yeah, the guy is, I'm probably going to butcher this, but...
So I wanted you to go.
Isao Abe?
That's seems right to me.
But yeah,
Isao Abe.
I saw him, and he pretty much had
Isaru Abe?
Iso Abe.
Castlevania eggs.
But yeah, he pretty much had his fingers in every Street Fighter pie in the 90s, either doing sound or music or composition or both.
Yeah.
I think the last Street Fighter game I saw on his resume was like Street Fighter, one of the third Street Fighter 3 Championship Turbo Mega Edition, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, I think he had done a lot of Street Fighter stuff.
Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is on that list.
Is it? Okay.
Point that out.
I must have just like blanked over that because I didn't recognize what that was. I figured it was
It
a
looked
typo.
so stupid that your mind just said, that's not real.
That's
I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
Someone's
Those
fucking
didn't
with the
exist in the same
Wikipedia
time
page.
period at all.
You're right. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. I prefer Dodges and Mammoths. No, this is nonsense.
He did Tower of Doom, but he did not do Shadow over Mystara. He did X-Men Children of the Atom.
I know. I love that.
His most recent one, I didn't write down the year, but he did Devil May Cry 4, which I think...
2011.
2011, okay. But,
Which I love it when I see a game that's like, there's a composer who was doing stuff in the early 90s, and it's like, oh, they also did a game that, like, I realized 2011 was a long time ago, but to me it wasn't.
Man, that's a long time ago. You haven't run out of music yet? Pretty good.
I thought the music was great. I really thought that it looked good. It sounded good. I don't think the sound effects are great.
No.
I think the music is great.
They don't know what hitting a person with metal sounds like, because it sounds like kind of like a woman screaming, I guess. Like, kind of. That's the sound. That's the sound when the sword hits.
That's what my
hits the
blacksmith
armor.
forge sounds like every time I forge a sword. His
You know you're not making it right unless that sword moans.
Yeah. I'm tempered, Daddy.
Tempered Daddy 69. Message me. Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
I'm always a fan of a good boss fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the design for most of these bosses. They do all they're just jumbo special drawn
They're huge.
bosses.
Yeah.
Big
For the most
dudes.
part. They're just really big.
It's like an NBA team got bored and decided to like fight children.
It's like it's like Merlin pulled back an NBA team back in time to fight King Arthur.
Nice.
And bejeweled them.
All right. And bejeweled them. Yeah. I thought the bosses were, so I guess my problem with the bosses is that the rest of the game kind of feels easy compared to the bosses.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always like at the end, and I get it. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
A boss is supposed to be difficult, but I felt like the spike at the end of each level was like drastic.
It is an unreasonable spike at the end of every level. And I think you hit it on the head earlier pre-game when you were talking about how, it's clearly an arcade port designed to drain your quarters.
Yeah. This was entirely about. They didn't really balance it, which I get when you're just porting a game from the arcades to the console. This was a game that was designed to just chew up quarters over and over again and soak you out of your money, which does not do well, does not translate when you have a limited number of continues and lives.
Sure.
Because as Dave, you ran into in the stream, you go into an end boss fight with half your continues, and he just absolutely mows through them with one or two hits. Like the end boss, Garibaldi, coastal city in Oregon, great place to go clamming on the Tillamook Bay. Love it.
I love his chocolate.
Yeah. But like he's got attacks that like
I like his Setzer.
But he's got attacks that can fight through. He doesn't pause when he gets hit. He can do an attack while he is getting hit, and so you're sitting there delivering damage, whittling away just little chunks at a time while he is hitting you for a quarter or a third of your life with each hit, and it's just it's disproportionate to the number of lives and continues that they give you, and I can see why it's such a frustrating experience.
Yeah, it's very true. And I mean, to be fair, I mean, all the enemies in this game are deadly. It's just
even Birdman.
Even Birdman. Yeah.
And Fat Man.
And Fat Man. Are these all failed medieval robot masters? Like, is that what's going on here? Because we've got
Bourgeoisie Man wouldn't fit, so they called him Fat Man.
We got Sword Man, Mask Man, Fat Man, Bird Man, Bad Falcon. That's not a man. I just wanted to say Bad Falcon. Bad Falcon, by the way, if you haven't played this game, it's a falcon with a knife that flies. It just flies with a knife. It's a pretty bad falcon.
So it's a Pokemon.
Sir, what is that? Well, that is a bad falcon. That over there is a good falcon. That is a bad falcon. That is a falcon with a poor home life.
That falcon listens to rap.
There's Tall Man.
Tall Man, who is a palette swap of the first boss. Scorn.
Who makes a Kefka laugh when he dies. I don't know why. I don't know if it's supposed to be him crying.
You made him come.
But
he's a masochist and you finished him.
I mean, it's that. And it's like, at first I was like, it's that Three Stooges Kefka laugh. And it's like, I don't get why that is. Maybe it's because he knows he's coming back later as a regular enemy.
We got the sound.
And then you'll fight two of him at the same time.
Yeah. Which is like a beat 'em up trope from like Double Dragon, yes. where you'd have Abobo, like multiple Abobos that would be regular enemies after beating him in the first level. So I feel like this game is such a combination of beat 'em up tropes. Like you can like grab a little bit of Final Fight and a little bit of Golden Axe and Streets of Rage and X-Men, and it's just like if a 12-year-old made a graveyard soda of beat 'em ups, it would be this game.
Well, I kind of like that. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, and it's funny that you mentioned rap earlier, because like beat 'em ups kind of remind me of hip hop in a way where it's like beat 'em ups are not afraid to take things from other beat 'em ups and like just put them in the game.
Right.
You know? So it's like almost like sampling to a point where it's like elevator level. Yeah. Elevator level. And then it just becomes a thing. Enough of them do it. And it's like, by the way, Knights of the Round doesn't have an elevator level, but so maybe a bad example.
No train level
But it's
either.
like, right. Yeah.
Jumbo bosses, all right. They're all just bigger.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah,
Done.
exactly.
But there was a
that.
level right before the Iron Golem, and on the last level where you'd have these big spiked mace balls kind of just come down, and it was like totally a Turtles in Time or TMNT kind of situation. And I was like, oh, okay, there's another type of either reference or homage, or I guess this came out in 91, so it was
probably came out before it.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Percival jumps and goes, ow, my toes! Shell shock.
Who turned out the lights? So I lost my train of thought earlier.
And Iron.
This is like, everything is deadly in this game. Even Birdman, like you were saying. Like, Birdman can, if you just sit there, Birdman can kill you in 4 hits. It's not like Final Fight where it's like...
Imagine you get hit in the face with an axe 4 times and you were dead.
I know. So it's like, I get it, right? I get it.
It's not quite Bushido Blade, but
right. But it's still pretty clear. I mean, all you have to do is like fuck up once and it's like, God damn it. Yep. There it goes.
Yep.
Which I know there's a block in it, but again... I'm all attacked.
It's a beat 'em up. What beat 'em up has blocks? Like, I think that's
not a block 'em up. It's a beat 'em up.
Yeah.
and I'm okay with a block and a beat 'em up. It's just with the weapons, it feels weird because like you can't just hold block. You press block and you block with the weapon for like 3 seconds, and then the block is over. Like it
my arm's tired.
So right, yeah, exactly. Makes sense. I'm the king of Britain. Fuck, my arm's tired.
Man, Jesus.
This holy sword is heavy as fuck. Other enemies that I definitely want to talk about because Kyle from the Experience Grind podcast and Animal Talking podcast, he hopped in the stream to point out, hey, dude, there are tiger balls in this game. And I was like, there are tiger balls in this game? I knew there were tigers because you fight tigers called Mad Tigers.
Mad Tigers. They're pissed.
And if you pause the game right after you hit them, very similar to like pausing when Chun-Li is doing her kick, but instead of trying to see Chun-Li's upskirt. You're trying to see tiger balls.
Tiger
Hey,
upskirt.
all
Yeah.
views are present. It's fine.
Right. You can totally, there's absolutely tiger genitals in this game. And I love that it came out on the Super Nintendo and there's just tiger balls in the game.
Yeah, you paused at the right moment, and I saw a tiger and a tiger saw, man. This is the Joe Exotic of beat 'em ups.
Right.
God bless the Japanese. Like, I feel like they are all about, like, putting anatomically correct characters into video games, and Nintendo America is just like, nope, Americans don't want that. We got to eliminate them. So try and sneak them by the censors whenever they can.
You can't have a butthole cut of movie Cats. No, take them out.
Well, like, the reason I love the tiger balls in this game so much, you can fucking quote me on that. You can put that on the back of the box if you want. The reason I love the tiger balls in this game so much is because in other games, like Out of This World, where they're like, okay, we're just going to take that tiny little butt crack off of that alien.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It just gives me delight because they didn't even realize it was in the game.
Yep. Well, anybody else have any last feelings about this game?
I have a very important question.
Uh-huh.
We haven't talked about the power-ups much.
Okay.
We talked about the food that you can get,
Mhm.
and we talked about summoning the horse, I guess,
Mhm.
with like a chess piece. So Merlin has hidden all these items. All the power-ups are from Merlin.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the items that he's hid is a green orb. The green orb transmutes your enemies into food.
Oh, damn.
So my question to you is, if someone transmuted a human into food, would you eat it? And if you ate it, is that cannibalism?
Would you eat it in bed?
I mean, if I'm going to eat it, I mean, that seems like a
Would
pretty
you
good
eat it and then fuck your wife?
It would depend on the type of food and the person. Like, would it taste?
If it turned into steak, that's a little weird.
Okay, they turn into turkey. And there's
turn into a Snickers bar. It's like, that's different enough.
I think a Snickers bar. It is different, but isn't that
'Cause
gross
it's like-
because it's gooey?
Would I
You're right.
would I eat another human if they were made out of bird meat?
Well, here's the thing. I've only found one green orb in the game, and the enemies that are transmuted are, in fact, Birdmans. So it's like when it happened, I was like, is this just like a really clever like joke?
I think it is. Because it's very weird to have Birdman of all fucking people.
He doesn't even have a bird. Like,
Yeah,
why is he called Birdman?
I think just the beak helmet that he wears.
Yeah.
Is it a I guess that's I don't know. I feel like that's a stretch, but you're probably right.
Yeah.
I like to think that they're actually turkeys.
The enemies here, they all just feel like they were placeholder names that we're gonna come up with something better afterwards.
Yeah.
And so let's just fuck it. Let's just put Sword Man, Fat Man, Bird Man, Tall Man, whatever. The only person that doesn't get that is Buster S.
Buster and Buster F.
There's a
I don't
Buster
know
F?
the difference.
Okay. Buster.
There's a Buster F. In Twitch chat, it was
Buster Funke.
and Buster Smalls. There was in Twitch chat, it was suggested that maybe it's Buster Slow and Buster Fast.
Oh, interesting.
But I don't know that I noticed a difference in their speed or anything. Because I didn't fight them like right next to each other, kind of deal. So I don't know, but I am really curious what their original names in Japanese were.
Yeah,
like were the Japanese kids over there also laughing about the ridiculous names? And by the way, Phil, we brought up Fat Man. We have to talk about Fat Man before we get off of enemies.
He's husky man at best. Like,
yeah.
He's more fit than I am. Yeah, he's stocky man. Because Buster S and Buster F, those are the real fat man.
Yes.
And I don't know who was in charge of handing out the nicknames in Garibaldi's army, but definitely I feel like it was like an Ashley Shake type character of just like, here's Fat Man Jake eating that turkey. Oh, Fat Man. Look at that Fat Man. And then just stuck. And Buster S is over there like sweating bullets like, oh man, I got out of this real good.
For someone you have never met and only heard a small handful of times on the show, you have perfectly encapsulated.
God, I love that you did that. That brought me so much joy. But even like Muramasa, who is like kind of a weirdly placed enemy in this like Arthurian game because he's a samurai.
Yep.
And I mean, I get it. Okay, that's cool. Like, but it's also kind of out of the blue. It's like you're in this like medieval village, and then like you go through a cave, and you come out on the other side of the cave, and it's like
it's like feudal Japan.
That's a very long cave. Where are we?
And it's like you come out and it's all that tall grass, like Ninja Gaiden style.
Yeah.
And then, there's a samurai who also
Marco Polo laying down silk down all around this path, and then you find a samurai
who also has a gut.
Yeah,
which is the size of Fat Man.
He's got a big old belly. That is the fattest samurai I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's true.
A gut gin samurai.
But this has a kind of the trope of beat 'em ups. This has a lot of palette swaps, a lot of characters that are just, we're just going to keep throwing the same 6 to 10 enemies at you. And I get that. What drives me absolute, like what I feel is like a big failing is this in this game is that the end boss, Garibaldi, is a palette swap of an earlier boss that's wearing different armor. Like there's an earlier boss,
the
Arlen.
Silver Lord or whatever.
Yeah, it's literally the exact same sprite with silver armor, and then they reskin him with gold armor for the end boss, which is, I feel, it is a pretty
cheap for a final
pretty
boss.
big failing on this part. Yeah.
And he's essentially Thanos too, by the way, because like he's got all these like rings on his finger, and like a lot of his moves are like energy projection. Like he'll like slam the ground, and it's like purple energy like shoots out.
Like, you know that Simpsons episode where it's like Homer is made of gold and he's like got big rings and jewels falling from him? That's essentially the end boss of this.
Yeah, I heard like, so I was asking desperately in Twitch chat, like, please help. Like, what's a strategy I can use? Someone mentioned that like at some point in the fight, his crown will fall off his head, and if you pick it up, it gives you like a full heal.
Oh, interesting.
Which I think is nice, but I don't think I ever got him to that point, or if I did, I just didn't realize it had happened because I'm fucking scrambling.
Yeah.
So that's as far as I made it. I made it to the end boss, and then, man, I tried again today and still couldn't do it. So it's like maybe one day I'll go back and try to beat this.
I really like the Iron Golem boss. Let's see, it's a boss that took up like half the screen that was just a mechanical suit of armor you had to bust the gears up in the middle of. Another one that block was all important.
Yeah, it's definitely needed.
There's a little swinging morning star sort of thing.
Big battering arm. Yeah.
That was like the sub-boss before Garibaldi, yeah.
And I also, I'm glad you brought that up because blocking is definitely, you have to use blocking in that fight, essentially. Something that I missed, blocking made me think of this, something that I missed in this game very much from beat 'em ups are throws. I really missed throwing because like that is typically in a beat 'em up how I manage the battlefield. Because it's like, I want all the enemies on one side of the screen, and I cannot do that in Knights of the Round. I have to, maneuverability is like way more important in this game than I feel like a regular beat 'em up.
Yeah.
So that took a little bit of getting used to, because I'm attack, I'm used to getting like right up in an enemy's face so that I can pick them up and throw them on the other side of the screen with all the other enemies.
Yeah.
So that bit me in the ass several times because it's like, here I am, and it's like slam, dead. Oh,
we
shit.
see you.
Right. I think it would be interesting to have like a grappler in this game because I do think that grappling character would break the game.
I have just been banned from our Rate My Ass. If you heard that buzz.
Wait, rate my ass?
Rate my ass.
Okay.
Enunciate that T, please. Have you not gone in there? I guess this is probably coming retroactively to your post you've made it. I assume you've changed your password and resecured your account.
I have tried. I cannot I guess I need to be on a desktop because the mobile app will not let me. So I'm still just getting these alerts.
At this point, just throw the Reddit account away and start a new one.
Yeah, what's your karma like on there?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. Yeah, get it.
It's like a 7-year account with karma, and
7-year account means nothing to me because I also have a 7-year account and like 5 karma.
Yeah.
So I have more karma on my porn account that I specifically set up. Just giving, like, every now and then I'll run across something and I'll be like, I have the source for that.
Yep.
Copy, paste.
That's probably the best way to get karma on Reddit.
I mean, you'd be surprised how many people do not give a shit. I don't give a shit a lot of times. When someone posts a source, it's like, great, click, come.
I've never upvoted a source link, period.
You're what's wrong with the world.
I know.
Yeah, be the change you want to see.
How rude.
How rude.
Well, you guys have any achievements for this game?
Got a few.
What you got, Phil?
I've got 3 achievements. I've got Knights of the Ground Pound, which you can achieve by turning this game off and instead playing Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, the game of the month.
I thought you were going to say turn this off and fuck your wife.
Which is the game of the month in the TADPOG Discord Super Nintendo channel, which I'm still in World 1. I'm just bits and crumbs kind of working my way through it, but I'm enjoying
You're farther than I am. I haven't started yet. Ultima Online.
Second achievement I have is Knights of the Round Mound of Rebound, which is you get that for turning this game off and instead playing Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, because Charles Barkley was the Round Mound of Rebound. What do you guys got?
I've got some 13 achievements came in from Twitch chat, so thanks for that.
Perfect.
These are my favorites. Thank you to everyone who submitted. Please come back on next Sunday and we'll do this again. The first achievement I've got is coming in from Bovine Bear Matt, and I brought it. I like this achievement, but it leads into a conversation that I want to have, and I feel like Phil is a good person to have on for this lead up. Mm-hmm. But the achievement is Meat Lovers Pizza. And in order to unlock Meat Lovers Pizza, beat Knights of the Round with Arthur, Lancelot, and the other guy. Also eat a whole pizza from Round Table Pizza.
Nice.
Round Table Pizza is something that I never heard about until people, I guess, from the West Coast started coming into the Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Is that like it's like round... Is it like a Round Table Pizza? Like, is that a big thing there?
It is.
Phil?
It is not, but it is. Oh, okay. It is a chain. It is a chain okay. Here, and there was. I used to go to Round Table Pizza all the time when there was back when Wonderland was at its peak, and this was like the Wonderlands in the area have really fallen by the wayside. But in the early 90s,
John Mayer.
Pizza's a Wonderland.
Alice?
Yeah. But I probably had 5 consecutive birthdays where we would go to a Round Table Pizza and then go to a Wonderland for like 5 hours and just play our guts out. And Round Table, they had at least the chain that I went to, the restaurant I went to had free play arcade machines in their lobby, which we would of course play the hell out of. So I haven't been to a Round Table Pizza in probably 2 decades, but I'm sure they still exist somewhere around the Portland metro area.
Are they kind of like in the same tier as like a Showbiz Pizza or like a Chuck E. Cheese?
No.
Or would you like...
No, they're
Gaddyland?
I feel like they're more like a pizza parlor, but without kind of like the bells and whistles for kids sort of thing.
With their name, I would think the opposite.
Yeah.
I would feel like it's very like medieval times, like kind of thing, which also I'd never been to a medieval time.
Animatronic Percival up there, like gyrating his metal ass.
Right.
I just went to the Dixie Stampede once. That's pretty close to medieval time.
I'm not familiar with the Dixie Stampede.
Medieval time, only it's the Civil War themed. It's the North versus the South.
Is that nearby?
Oh, it was in Gatlinburg, I think.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, kind of nearby.
Does the South win every time at Dixieland?
I think the time I went, the North won. I remember that happening, and people were sad.
Boo.
Sir, what will you have to eat tonight? I'll have the South will fry again. Very good, sir. Next achievement. This is actually kind of a shared achievement because there are 2 that are very similar that I both love. From Chris Murray, a.k.a. Just a Punk, Threat Level Midnight. Night with a K. In order to unlock Threat Level Midnight, defeat the first boss, a.k.a. Michael Scarn. And then Doc's achievement was Scorn in the USA. In order to unlock Scorn in the USA, defeat Scorn on your first try because you're number one. And then the last achievement I have comes in from Nick P 7186, and that is now go away or I shall taunt you a second time. In order to unlock now go away or I shall taunt you a second time, lose against a boss.
All right.
Definitely have
Yeah.
with me.
Yep.
Tyler, do you have any achievements?
Roast turkey is people.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, like that, but in the green orbit eating them people.
All right.
Okay, I've got a good one.
Got another one in there?
Nope.
I've got a good
How
one,
empties
but
that well?
Oh, it's dry.
without an actual achievement for it. But the Ballad of Buster S. And I don't know what you get. I don't know. Turn off the game and watch the Ballad of Buster Scruggs because that's a good movie.
So, Phil, I think all of your achievements involve turning the game off.
I know.
Did you like this game?
I love this game, but I essentially just made achievements that are references to other material and didn't know how to tie it into the game. So
Sure, I get the theme. I'm just curious. I'm curious if you like the game. I mean, usually when you're the achievement involves shutting the game off or kicking the game across the room. Typically, it reflects poorly on the game.
No, that's just laziness on my part of actually coming up with some tie to Buster Scrugg and Buster S.
So you do like the game?
I love this game. Yeah, I think this is a great beat 'em up, and I'm kind of annoyed. I don't know. I feel like it should have been on or near the top 100 list.
All right. So now you're getting getting to what I was driving at. Because I am curious, do you guys think that this game belongs on IGN's top 100 Super Nintendo games?
I do.
I mean,
I'd say kick Final Fight out of the 100 spot and put this in it. I think this is better than Final Fight.
I think it could go higher. I agree. And my axe. I agree. Mm-hmm. But let me just so we can refresh, these were the beat 'em ups that were on IGN's top 100 list. Starting from the bottom. And some of these I took liberties with. Some of these are kind of a stretch. Okay. Final Fight at 100.
Mm-hmm. Better than that.
Super Double Dragon at 92.
Better than that.
I agree.
It is, yeah.
Maximum Carnage at 85.
Yeah.
Better than that. The Death and Return of Superman at 81. Better than that.
Yeah.
X-Men Mutant Apocalypse at 78. That's where it stops for me.
Yeah.
And that's a stretch because X-Men Mutant Apocalypse is kind of like beat 'em up platformer.
Adjacent.
Yeah. I mean, it's adjacent. And then from there you have Turtles in Time.
Yeah, it's not better than that.
It's not better than that. And then Legend of the Mystical Ninja, which is also kind of like a hybrid. And I don't think it's
RPG beat 'em up.
Yeah, I don't think it's better than that. But I do think it belongs somewhere between 78 and 81.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good place. Because I looked up some rankings, some ratings, and it was kind of not panned by video game magazines, but it was definitely kind of perceived as okay, this is just another arcade beat 'em up port, easily forgettable sort of. GamePro gave it a 3.5 out of 5. It got pretty average ratings, but I feel like the stuff that made it average in 1994 makes it stand out in 2020. This game can stand the test of time, and it has a lot going for it because it borrowed from or used all these different tropes from successful beat 'em ups and kind of combined them into this one pretty good looking game. So I think what made it bad or what made it forgettable in the 90s makes it very memorable in 30 years later.
I agree with that. I also think that it being ported and released 3 years after the arcade game came out, I think hurt it probably in 94 when it came out.
Yeah.
That's a long time for an arcade port.
This came out the same year as Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 3, right?
I think Chrono Trigger might have been later than that.
Okay.
I don't recall.
But yeah, 94 I feel like is a very, very seminal time for Super Nintendo, and for this to come out then, it's going to be kind of overshadowed by a lot better titles at the time. Yeah, Chrono Trigger, March 11th, 95.
I do think that I don't know. I think it's a really good game. I think it's also important to say it shouldn't be important to say, but because Final Fight is brought up so often, it is important to say that Knights of the Round is multiplayer. 2 people can play at the same time. Something that you could not do in Final Fight on the Super Nintendo.
It was a 3-player game in the arcades, which was pretty cool.
Which makes sense because, like, with splitting the food up into 4 into quarters, you know, that makes sense to me now. Because, like, I feel like you could just split it in half if it's just 2 players. But do you guys have a favorite night of the round? Like, just in general?
I don't even know enough really about them all.
Well, I have a quiz that I've put together haphazardly called Can You Name All the Knights of the Round?
I may have done some research on this, so...
How many can you do from memory, Phil?
From memory, there's Sir Bors the Younger.
You're going to nail this. If you got Sir Bors the Younger as you're leading out, you're like Babe Ruth coming out and pointing.
Sir Bors was one of the Holy Grail Monty Python knights that got killed by the rabbit, so he's...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually looked on his Wikipedia page, and he was supposedly like very loyal and very brave, and like would do anything for King Arthur. Which
I thought it was Sir Robin who was very brave.
Sir Robin wasn't a knight. That was apparently, at least on the Wikipedia page, he was not listed among them. I was kind of surprised at that.
You were well studied, Phil. Sir Robin is in fact not on this list.
Yeah. I
was trying to throw you off.
I was a British literature major before I became a journalism major. So
we are so I'm so fucked on this.
I did read Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, I actually think of Sir Gawain before I think of Percival. But I think that's just my college background. Galahad, is the one. I actually quizzed Bulbasaur on this. I was like, all right, last night I was like, all right, Knights of the Round Table, except for Lancelot, who is the next one that you think of? Because I kind of feel that Percival is a little bit above his station here. Like, I don't think Percival is the next best, the next most well-known knight besides Lancelot.
I could probably honestly before I looked this up, I probably could have named Galahad and Lancelot, and then probably would have forgotten about Percival. You know, if it hadn't been for this game.
So the Empire and Puzzles Arthurian sort of expansion event has, of course, Arthur, Lancelot, Guinevere,
not a knight,
Lady of the Lake,
not a knight.
The Black Knight from Monty Python. His special ability is you hit him and it does no damage, and he goes, "Oh, just a flesh wound."
Gotcha.
It's a pretty powerful tank.
Yeah.
There's Bedivere, which I only know because of Monty Python.
Monty Python. Yeah.
There's Tristan, which I only know because I remember that from looking it up. I think that's about it.
There's Sir KB Toys.
I remember. Okay, Sir K. Yes.
And there's Sir Lamorak. There's Sir Geraint.
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 Geraint. Very good.
Let's see. You got Lancelot. You got Gawain. Gawain, I'm very bad at this.
Yeah.
Geraint, Parzival, Sir Bors the Younger, Lamorak, Sir Kay, Sir Gareth, Sir Bedivere, which I really want to say Belvedere because, Belvedere, Sir Gaheris, Phil? Ring a bell?
Nope.
Sir Galahad and Sir Tristan.
And I actually have the Wikipedia page full of Palamedes.
All right, see, I don't have that.
Palamedes, I don't know.
Go fish. I don't have that.
In different stories, there are different numbers of knights ranging from 12 to more than 150.
It's the telling of Arthur from different viewpoints. Yeah. That's why we have, this is the rich tapestry that this weaves.
Which were the knights from King Arthur and the Knights of Justice? That's what I want to know.
Sir Brian, Sir Chuck,
Sir Wheels,
Sir Braxton, Sir Jackson,
Sir Burger King Mighty Kids Club. You got any more of them questions?
I do. I have some more questions. So we all agree this belongs on IGN's top 100 Super Nintendo
Yeah.
games. But Tyler, if you were to buy this game, how much do you think it would be?
I'm not going to participate because since I don't own this game, I looked it up to try and see whether I would want to buy it or not.
Okay.
You don't sound like you do, Phil, so I'm going to say $45.
$45.
That feels like a good answer. I can't remember exactly, but it was not a easily.
I'm going to buy that right now kind of purchase.
Yeah.
This is according to Flopsy, our friend Flopsy, who we haven't visited with in a long time. AKA the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library, 1991 through 1998, by Pat Contry, courtesy of Master Mold Mike. This game is listed as an uncommon game.
Okay.
And the actual retail value of Knights of the Round, loose, on average, according to PriceCharting.com, at the time of this recording, is $73.42.
Uncommon?
It's listed as an uncommon game in Flopsy. They also give it a 4-star rating in Flopsy.
Okay,
I feel like
nice.
that's pretty good for Flopsy.
Yeah, that's very good.
We've had uncommon games that were like $5 though.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. I don't know.
Since the book was published, somebody went and bought them all up and destroyed them.
My guess is it's uncommon, it's Capcom, and it's a good game.
Yeah.
I feel like those three, I don't feel like anyone wants to get rid of it. I feel like that's what's driving
fair.
the price up. I feel like there are a lot of
Probably
uncommon
just looking
games.
at units sold, not what's available.
Right. Yeah. That's my guess. Because there are plenty of uncommon games that I feel like people do not care to get rid of, because they're shit games. They're made by publishers or developers that no one has heard of. But Capcom was king. Them and Konami, they were king back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I still feel like that name carries weight. And I feel like, it makes sense to me. It sucks because I do want this game.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to pay $75 for it.
Yeah.
I don't want it that much.
Mm-hmm.
I'd pay like $30.
Yeah.
Get like a $30. Yeah. I feel like
I'm with you.
I could do that, and feel like I haven't like made a poor decision.
Yeah.
I think,
But $75, that's tough.
I think 30 I'd be fine with. 40 is about my limit. And then anywhere, like, I can't justify. Because, like, I'm going to play this game once, maybe, if I own it?
Yeah. And I feel like that's a testament to the game, how good it is.
Yeah.
We're actually, this game is like, it came out in 1994, and we're literally like, yeah, I'd pay $30 for it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a testament to how good this game is.
Yeah.
I guess it's the highest we'd rank a game since we started doing the randomizer.
Until we get to Lufia.
Yeah, Lufia. Prince of Persia, I feel like we'd put on the list fairly high.
Lufia's a top 50, I feel.
I don't entirely. I want to revisit it, but I don't entirely disagree at this point.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I have some more questions specifically for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
The very long, white, semi-prehensile beard of one Merlin.
Oh, my tamer, Sardius, on the Ultima. Oh, Merlin. Oh, okay, all right. That guy.
Same person.
A Merlin's beard.
Merlin's beard. It's good.
Beard.
I like Merlin's beard. I do like the prehensile modifier.
You can do a little
beard.
bit.
Yeah.
Do a little bit.
Yeah. I'm surprised we didn't talk about how the scene in Sword in the Stone, the squirrel scene in Sword of the Stone.
Still breaks my heart.
Yeah. We've gone to that well too many times, I
Yeah.
feel like. Yeah.
That's
Tyler.
the incels. That's the small incel part of me. He's like, the girl just likes you. Just fucking do it. Who cares if she's a squirrel?
Just fuck the squirrel. Come on.
Did you know
You're a
that?
squirrel? It's fine.
No one's going to
Did you know
judge you.
that squirrel
Who's going to know?
is the incel mascot on Reddit? I don't know if you knew that or not. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of glasses would it be?
I would give it basically the reflection of the Lady of the Lake in the water coming out to give you a sword because you're very surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't expect this to be so good.
It's like the Randomizer's the Lady of the Lake and bestowing upon us.
Our Ray Liotta of the Lake.
Yeah.
The Leota of the Lake. There you go.
Yes, put that on the back of the box. Very good, very good. I love those.
The Excalibat, which is just a very nice baseball bat Ray Liotta gives you from a lake.
That's all I got. That's all I got for
Nothing from Ross
Knights
Rachel
of the
Green?
Round. I do have some more questions. They are
Nice.
probably, maybe not Knights of the Round related. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
All right.
We do have a quiz that came in from Ross
Name
Rachel
these
Green.
round objects.
Yes. This quiz is entitled Beat 'em Off.
All right.
I am a big fan of side-scrolling beat 'em ups, and when the SNES was still popular, I played as many of the genre as I could find.
Ross, it's
still super popular. I don't understand. I have a big book that says that it's super popular.
I know you're in the Isle of Man, trapped away from civilized society, so you just don't understand the Super Nintendo is still popular.
It's incredibly popular.
But you do have, of course, I know you have Jeff the Talking Mongoose on the Isle of Man.
I'm sorry,
so
what?
Jeff the Talking Mongoose?
Yeah? Who's that?
Jeff the Talking Mongoose, I just happened to listen to a Last Podcast on the Left episode where they're talking about Jeff the Talking Mongoose from the Isle of Man, which is
They didn't have him on?
A cryptid cryptid creature from around World War II.
What's he
this
say?
family just all sorts of shit.
Like propaganda shit? Like racist propaganda shit?
Really, he's a chaotic neutral mongoose spirit type thing that quote unquote a family just their boredom on the Isle of Man from being city people, they just manifested from the astral plane Jeff the Talking Mongoose, which has been researched whether or not he's actually real or not.
Well, did you know?
So Ross, please find some memorabilia for Jeff the Talking Mongoose and send it to me.
Much like the UFO footage that has been released during COVID-19, there's probably Jeff the Talking Mongoose footage that has also come out at the same time, is my guess. There has to be a band called Jeff the Talking Mongoose.
Probably.
That's what Jimmy Eat World was originally going to be called. Ross continues. I almost said Jeff continues. Ross the Talking Mongoose continues. Knights of the Round is one I am not familiar with from the before times, but played fairly recently. It seems like a popular genre for the time, and so here are 10 questions about beat-em-ups on the Super Nintendo. Some you will have played, others you will have to look forward to. Gentlemen, are you ready to begin?
Yes.
All right. First question. This game is named after one of the fighters, but also stars a mummified alien, token ninja, and a baby in a mech suit.
Captain Commando, 1991.
Sounds good.
It's part of the Capcom beat 'em up bundle that you were talking about earlier, Dave.
Yeah, I've played that. I'm just trying to figure out. Oh, I see. This game is named after one of the fighters in that game.
Yeah.
I was thinking Arthur, Parzival, Lancelot. Yes. Okay, yes. Captain Commando, locking it in. Do you want to take a stab at what year that came out?
91, I think. I think it's 91. I think it's all part
locking
of that.
Locking it in.
Yeah.
1991, Captain Commando. Very well done. Very well done, Phil. Next question. This game sees 4 brothers fighting through a variety of time periods. Turtles in Time. 1990.
Is that 94?
4?
96?
Yeah,
sure.
Like, it feels
3?
like late, but maybe not as late as I think it is.
Yeah, I think they struck when the iron was hot
Okay.
on Turtles Mania, so I feel like it would have probably been earlier.
93?
93?
93.
Sure.
93, locking it in. TMNT Turtles in Time. It is, in fact, 1991.
Wow.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. Wow. I did not realize that it was out that early.
That's impressive.
So what? I guess the original must
It
have come
makes
out.
sense. I played it in that house when I was in like third or fourth grade.
Yeah.
So
Jeez. Next question. This game is very different to its arcade counterpart, which measured the strength of your punches to do damage to your enemy. So I know that the original Street Fighter measured like your damage based on how hard you hit the button, but that's not on the Super Nintendo.
Also
so it's
not-
probably not.
Also not a beat 'em up.
Also not a beat 'em up, but we've seen fighters thrown in. We've seen the genre cross before in these quizzes. So
Can you read that one more time for me?
yes, this game is very different to its arcade counterpart, which measured the strength of your punches to do damage to your enemy.
did Mortal Kombat in the arcade do that, where then you could strengthen your punches by chopping the ice blocks?
That was like a test your might segment. Yeah, I don't think it actually had any influence on your fighting capabilities.
I'm at a loss here. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of a Super Nintendo game that is very different than a Super Nintendo beat 'em up that is very different to its arcade counterpart. That measured the strength of your punches.
We had named a whole bunch of them earlier. I'm trying to think of which one of those would have been arcade ports.
Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Cowboys of Moo Mesa, punching udders, locking it in. 1948. It is, in fact, 1991, Sonic Blast Man. You know, that old classic Sonic Blast Man? Never heard of this game ever. I'm going to have to look it up whether or not, like, what the arcade version of it is. Is it something you literally punched? Next question. This game, based on a popular movie of the time, features a vigilante fighting an aquatic bird enemy.
Popular movie.
Ray Liotta's Goodfellas?
Vigilante. Aquatic bird enemy would be the penguin. So it's a Batman game. Is it Batman?
Batman
Forever? It would be Returns, wouldn't it?
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Batman Returns. What year do you guys think that was?
92 was when Batman Returns came out, because I recently watched that with Harold Arthur.
Nice. How did that go?
He enjoyed it. We actually went through we've gone through the whole 90s Batman series, watching its slow, rapid descent into absolute chaos. Thank you very much, Joel Schumacher, you piece of you garbage director.
So Forever is Arthur's favorite, right?
Arthur is kind of in that wheelhouse for, cartoony, stupid action movies, so he wasn't as turned off by it as Bulbasaur and I were.
He's Joey Shoe's target audience.
Yeah,
there we go.
Exactly. It was essentially one giant toy commercial for 2 hours.
So 1991, is that what you said?
92 is when the movie came out. Now, did the game come out the same year? Or maybe it was a winter movie release?
It's garbage, so probably.
Yeah.
They probably didn't spend much development time.
1992, Batman Returns. I'm locking it in. It is, in fact, 1992, Batman Returns.
Good job, Phil.
Very well done. Yeah, me neither. Also, I'd like to point out, I found this. Sonic Blast Man, you need to look it up because it is absolutely an arcade cabinet that has imagine it has one giant joystick in the middle of it, but that joystick is a punching bag. That's what Sonic Blast Man is. I'm curious to see how it ported over to the Super Nintendo. Next question. This game stars Jack Flack and his friend Oswald Uzi Nelson on a quest to save Jack's girlfriend. In Japan, this game is part of the Rushing Beat trilogy, though the 3 games were unrelated in other regions.
Brawl Brothers or some shit?
Brawl Brothers would be my guess. We've only done Peacekeepers so far, I think.
So it's either Brawl Brothers 1 or Brawl Brothers 2, and then it changed, right? Something like that.
I don't know. I'm actually not super familiar with the franchise.
Yeah.
I'm good to just go Brawl Brothers and see what happens.
Brawl Bros.
Phil, are you good with that?
Absolutely.
All right. 1993, Brawl Bros. Locking it in. 1992, Rival Turf, which I think is the first one and has hilarious art.
Yep.
Next question. This game is notorious for having a particularly difficult driving section. It is probably more famous for people calling a large chain of game shops and asking if it's in stock.
Oh, Battletoads.
Battletoads would have to be. Is on the Super Nintendo, is it just Battletoads or
Battletoads Double Dragon?
Double Dragon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Battletoads was an SNES title.
Or an NES title?
That's what I meant. Yes. Sorry. It's the vodka talking.
Mystery Juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. What year do you think Battletoads Double Dragon came out? I'm trying to remember when I used to see it on the shelf at Blockbuster.
Oof.
93.
92?
92.
Sure. You're good with which one? 92? 92. Battletoads Double Dragon, locking it in. It is 1993.
Wow.
Battletoads in Battle Maniacs. So there is that game
so
as well. Apparently, it is not Battletoads Double Dragon.
Maniacs crossover we never heard of.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's Zit, Rash, and Pimple versus Wacko, Yakko, and Dot. Next question. This game sees intergalactic bounty hunters fighting a crossover foe.
Is that Bucky O'Hare?
That's an NES game, though.
Okay.
And it's more of a run and gun.
Intergalactic Bounty Hunters.
Probably that Beastie Boys game.
Oh, yeah,
Intergalactic Planetary.
Yeah.
Well, when I think Intergalactic Bounty Hunters, I think Star Wars. It's the first thing I think of, but I don't recall a Star Wars beat 'em up. It's just Super Star Wars, that series.
Intergalactic Bounty Hunters.
Fighting a crossover foe.
Did Suburban Commando have a Super Nintendo game?
It might have. Were there any anthropomorphic intergalactic bounty hunters
that sounds more like it. Sounds like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Like Street Sharks or something, one of those that like I aged out of, like just barely.
Yeah. Shit. I don't know.
Wild Hogs?
Wild Hogs.
Wild Hogs 2004? Locking it in. It is, in fact, that was a well-worded question. 1993, Aliens versus Predator.
Yeah, okay.
Next question. I'm going to speed it up. You're sleepy boy. I see.
Yeah, I'm just yawny. I don't know why.
Your brain's overheating.
You're right. Go to
All these questions.
Charles Fun Cheese or whatever. Yeah.
I saw you hit the
Charles
Robitussin.
Entertainment Cheese. I'm sorry. It's Chuck E. Cheese.
I like Martin Lawrence preferably because he's got reach over Tim Allen. William H. Macy's got a lot of power, though, so, he's a good choice.
Yeah, but he's very fragile, I feel like. Not physically.
Not a lot of defense. Just emotionally.
Just emotionally, yeah. I'd like to see the Fargo beat him up. I think that'd be fun. Next question. This game, made by a company that would become popular for a fighting series, features a setting very similar to a tabletop role-playing game and features a basic leveling up system.
Final Fantasy Tactics Soccer.
I think it might be Knights of the Round.
He's going in order, though, isn't he? So this has got to be one of the D&D Shadow of Mystara, Temple of Doom, or Tower of Doom, right?
But Knights of the Round came out in 1994 on the Super Nintendo.
Oh,
I don't think any of the D&D games came out on Super Nintendo, did they?
They didn't come out on SNES.
I mean, Eye of the Beholder did, but that's not. I mean, that'd be great if that was a beat 'em up. Every time you run across an enemy in first person, it shifts to a beat 'em up side scrolling.
And you have to punch something to see how hard you can hit it.
Yes. I think he's fucking with us, and I think this is 1994's Knights of the Round.
I do too. I'm with you. Or the dragon one.
Ooh, yeah. Maybe it is Dragon People. That was the name of that one, right?
King of Dragons.
Shit.
King of Dragons.
King of Dragons. I gotta tell you, King of Dragons is not a good name for a game. Also, I don't think Knights of the Round is a good name for a game either.
Yep, I'm with you.
I mean, it hits the nail on the head, but I don't know.
I'd say Knights of the... Yes. I think Ross is going to fuck with us more than anything else. So, yeah, I think Knights of the Round.
This game, made by a company that would become popular for a fighting series, Capcom Street Fighter, features a setting very similar to a tabletop role-playing game, Arthurian Legend, and features a basic leveling up system.
Knights of the Round. Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, it's literally both of those. So, it's one or the other.
Could be Legend of the Mystical Ninja.
Or No Adventures. Yeah, you're right.
So 1994, locking it in, one of those games. It is, in fact, 1994, The King of Dragons. And then we all know...
It's a gimme because it could have been either one.
I know, sure. Yeah. And then the subtext of that is we all know the real King of Dragons is Bahamut. Do you guys say Bahamut or Bahamut?
Bahamut.
Bahamut.
That's what you do when you're Baja blasted and you're done eating in bed. You Baja nut.
Baja nut in your mouth.
Also a good subreddit. Next achievement. This game sees several superheroes fighting for precious stones that are usually attached to an armored glove.
Marvel War of the Gems.
War of the Gems. 1994 also would be my guess on that one. Also, I want to point out that I think Ross Rachel Green might be converting because armored is spelled Armored.
Oh, not armored.
Isn't it normally armored? I don't know. It is, in fact, 1994 Marvel superheroes in War of the Gems. Well done, Tyler. Next question. Final question. This game is named after This game is named after and stars a large blue-suited superhero named after a blood-sucking insect.
The Tick.
The Tick.
Spoon!
What year do you think The Tick came out?
95.
95, The Tick. Locking it in. It is, in fact, 1994, The Tick. Very good. Very good. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Ross, thank you for the quiz.
Mm-hmm.
I know those are a chore to put together, but I
Yes,
really
thank
enjoy them, and I think they are a fantastic segment to the show. Thank you.
Yes, much appreciated, Prime Inquisitor Ross Rachel Green. Oh, I think that's all we've got. That all?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have any last moments, thoughts, recollections? Thanks for coming on, Phil.
Yeah, dude, thanks.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be your safety school.
Let's see. Well, I think now it's probably time to go over here and drag out this batter up peripheral.
Yeah, pick that up.
All right.
I'll put that on one end of the ground, the other hand my head to it. I'm going to spin this around in a circle,
Foamy.
say the prayer we all love to say. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Stop.
453.
450.
453.
M.
It's not an M. We're in the R's, baby.
R.
We're in the R's.
R pussy.
R
This is
pussy.
fact-
R slash
This is,
pussy.
in fact, R
Sorry,
pussy.
I'm not going to be on next
Yeah.
week. I'm banned.
The sequel to Love Quest, R pussy. It is.
Rambo First Blood.
You got the first two letters right.
Rampage. Rampart.
Rainbow Bright.
It is Raiden or Raiden Trad.
Triad.
No idea.
The fuck?
No idea.
That's
My guess is
Wow.
it's a vertically scrolling
It's a
shooter.
vert-
That's my guess. I have no idea.
Yeah, the
It's probably your.
Raiden series is a vertical shooter.
I remember playing a
Okay,
Raiden
sure.
game on the PC, but I don't know if it ever was ported to Super Nintendo, if this is something different. Phil, you think this is part of that series?
I would assume so. Yeah.
All right. Okay. This could be good. Could also be bad. I
Could
don't know.
also be bad.
We'll see.
It's a bold-
Tune in next
Yeah,
week.
yeah, yeah.
It's a bullet hell game. I think it'll be fine.
All right.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be doing Raiden Trad on the next episode. You want to check us out? We're on iTunes. We're on Stitcher.
Mm-hmm.
We're on YouTube.
We're on Spotify.
We're on Spotify. We're on TADPOG.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the least.
All over our pussy.
All over it. Look for us.
Can't browse through our pussy without stumbling upon a tadpog link.
We're on Facebook. It says if you like TADPOG, there are episode announcements. We post videos there where you listen to the episode.
Yep.
Do some memeage.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you're a fan of the show, get that dank shit. There's TADPOG Nation.
You want to play UO? You want to play Ultima Online?
Uh-huh.
Join the Discord.
Yeah.
bit.ly/tadpog Discord. It's cumbersome, I realize. And the reason I know I realize it is because I tried to send Tyler a link to it earlier and got it wrong myself. So
Then we're also TADPOG_podcast on Twitter and Instagram.
yeah. And I stream on Sundays on Twitch,
Yeah.
Tadpog_podcast.
Oh, yes.
Come hang out for Tadpog Church, where I will be playing Raiden Trad.
So we also have, most importantly, that Patreon.
We do.
So let me pull that up real quick. It's always a little clunky on my Hello phone. All right. So I want to give a special thanks for new donor, Pete Reed or Pete Red. I'm not sure.
All right, Pete.
But thank you very much.
Yes.
I see that you liked all the Call of Cthulhu Piggy Palace episodes, posted some stuff in the nation. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Pete was hanging out in Twitch chat last night, so good hanging out.
Hell yeah. Our theme song is Moves. I think we're traveling to that track from the charts, TADPOG.com. But our show is also executive produced by some people.
It was. Speaking of Patreon, speaking of Sycamore Drive, who does not support us on Patreon, I don't.
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't.
I don't blame him,
We told him about her show and he doesn't care. He's like,
and that's
yeah,
fine. We get it.
That's fine. You're a musician. It's fine.
You're a musician. Clearly, you are like really into retro games, and we're like kind of into retro games,
Yeah.
but more into like butt jokes and stuff. So we get it. This episode was executive produced
Eating in
by
bed. It's whatever.
Sycamore Drive. Probably does not eat in bed. If I were to bet on it, Sycamore Drive probably does not eat in bed. This show is executive produced by the following people: Usurper Grimm, Chicks W. Dixon, Coronavirus Savior Cubicle Monkey, God Emperor Alex Pena, Martin Stein, Cousin David Galino, Laud Mulaney Dennis, Zeus Laser, Chase Coburn, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Joseph Phillips, Cody Phillips, Platinum member Brett Miller, The Eightfold Daniel Abernathy, Matt Gentile, aka Gentle G, Magical Sleeper, aka Big Dicked Pie Baker Chris Vaughn, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, Drinksmith Joey Webster, Executive Producer Dig Dougie, Pinball Archmage Chris Edler, congratulations on your marriage, And Sandwich, that wasn't his full title. That was just like a side note.
It can be.
Congratulations. Yes, that's his full title now. Pinball Archmage Chris Edler, congratulations on your marriage. And finally, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, who was on this very episode today.
Hell yes.
I also want to mention that Guitaru Man Dalton has started a podcast called the Steam Machine Podcast. If you're looking for more podcasts in your life, he is doing something very similar to what we have done with the Randomizer, except he is going through his backlog of Steam games.
We mentioned doing that once upon a time, playing through my Steam library
that was a long ass time ago.
Yeah,
and you were doing that. I was not fucking with that.
It didn't get very far. Yeah.
But his backlog, apparently, he's got a full list posted on this, like the Facebook page for the Steam Machine Podcast. It is about the same size as the 725 North American Super Nintendo. It's a long list of Steam games this guy's going through. So we wish you luck.
Let's see. Well, how do you guys want to close this one out?
Phil, what do you think? You know British literature. How should we do this?
As your favorite knight of the round table.
All right.
So just as a faux British accent, that'll work. Let's just piss off Ross.
All right.
As Jeff, I'll do Jeff. The talking
the mongoose.
Mongoose. Thank you. I almost said lemming.
I will do my best like chimney sweep impression.
Oh, Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah. So until next time,
Tropical. Here's Capricorn.
Capricorn. I have to push the Pramalot.
How's that one knight who died from the rabbit?
Oh, that was
Boris the Younger.
Boris the. Yeah. Look at you with the memory.
Learned something.
Look at you with the memory. Yeah.
Well, what have you guys been up to?
I've been
playing Ultima.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Do it. Do your Ultima bit.
I've been playing Ultima.
You guys are gonna love this shit. Go, Dave. Go.